You're live.
Hi guys, our Wilson gang. We are on 3 separate devices tonight because we wanted to share our thoughts with all of our viewers via Facebook, YouTube. Both Melvin and I both are actually on YouTube Live and Facebook Live right now. So, unless you live under a rock, I'm pretty sure everybody knows about the trial with Derek Chauvin and the murder of George Floyd. And as Black people, this has been a very eye-opening thing for us. We have, and I want to try to let people come in so everybody can kind of hear. And feel free to chime in. I know that it's been a lot going on. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, it's pretty, what's the word? It's been a real emotional thing for a lot of people. To see, justice actually be served for it. Because most of the time, you have people, you have these situations and the officer, they're going on administrative leave, and then, you won't hear too much more after that, and they'll probably get a slap on the wrist. But the jury, they took their time. Well, not even took their time. It was 10 hours?
10 hours. They deliberated for 4 hours yesterday after closing arguments, and then another 4.5 yesterday, and then almost 6 today. Mm-hmm. So just about 10 hours of deliberation.
Yep. So the evidence that they had, they must have felt as though it was
overwhelming.
It was enough for them to come up with a guilty verdict on all 3 charges. So that's good for the family. Give them some. Can't bring George Floyd back, but to give them some type of closure, to where they feel as though people actually realize what was going on.
Mm-hmm. I personally would like to elaborate on the situation. It's been really emotional for me. This last month has just been overwhelmingly emotional. I've been very I don't want to say taunted, but I've cried many days just because of this case, this situation. I'm married to a Black man. I have brothers who are Black. I have uncles. I have cousins. I have friends. And that could very well be any one of them in the situation that our brother George found himself in. And the fact that you have so many issues with racism and police brutality in this country it's almost mind-boggling, because Black people have built so much in this country, and we have done so much. This country was built on the backs of Black and brown people. And I mean, for us to get a guilty verdict in this situation it means so much more than just George Floyd. I remember being a teenager when Trayvon Martin was killed by George Zimmerman, and we protested. I went to Palmetto High. Go Tigers. I'll start. I went to Palmetto High. We protested. We all came to school with Black hoodies and Skittles and the Arizona tea. And it was more than just Black people. I mean, it was Black, white, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Cuban, Indian. It was children of all races who felt the pain We all used to walk to the store from school, and we would go in the morning on the way to school, or we would go after school. But the little corner store right in Palmetto, the Federal store, we all have walked to that store before, and we've all gotten back safely. And that being a teenager in that time when that happened to Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman got off, that was a hurtful thing. And I remember my mom just like telling me, Kaya, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. But it hasn't been okay. And I cried almost the whole way home. I rode home in silence because it was just, the experience for me was so much more than I thought it was going to be, getting a guilty verdict on all charges. So I want to say, to my brothers and sisters tonight of all races and all backgrounds, don't judge somebody off the way they look. Don't judge them, because you never know what they might be going through or how they can probably help you, I've never in my life judged somebody based off the color of their skin, on how they're going to react to something, or what type of vibe I'm going to get from them, because I know some cool white people. Like, I know some cool Hispanics, and Black people, we dope, like, I don't understand it. And you know what? Maybe it's not for me to understand. Maybe it's for me to assist in taking a step to help change things. I'm very vocal about how I feel about things, and I've gotten in many ticks and tacks with people. I'm very opinionated, and I stand my ground, and I don't let anybody waver the way I feel about something. So we just wanted to come on. I see more people are starting to come in. Mm-hmm. We wanted to come on and just talk about the whole situation and just get your guys' feedback, see how you all feel about everything that's going on, and just let's come together and just try to relieve ourselves of, any emotions or feelings we might be having, because it's okay to be emotional about it. Mm-hmm. It's big old men and women in Memphis right now, like crying, partying in the streets, because it's like a brand new day. You want to say something, babe?
Yeah. Like you said, it's not just about Black folks. That's the focal point, but everybody, because I do too. I know I got a lot of cool white friends, Hispanic friends, and some of them, they deal they own struggles. Mm-hmm. But you got to kind of, what's the word? You got to kind of try to combat against that. But it's hard because, it'll be times, whether you're in public or at work, and somebody might say something to you, but
we both have instances.
You can't really
dealing with that.
Mm-hmm, you can't really react how you want to, or how you think you should be able to. Mm-hmm. And it's sad because, it's 2021. You hear that, you think of like the 1950s, 1960s, when, if Black people said something to a white person, they couldn't say nothing to them. Like, they call them out their name, or they say something out the way. You just got to take it on the head and take it. But now people are vocal about it. But you got to be careful because, somebody say something to me, and I say something, I raise my voice, or whatever the case is, I'm seen as aggressive.
Yep.
Oh,
you're a threat now.
Big Black man, he aggressive. So I try to carry myself a certain way. Don't get me wrong, I'm not finna just bow down to nobody, let nobody walk over me, teach me, treat me no kind of way, because parents raised me to speak my mind, stand up for yourself. But, you just have to do it in a certain type of manner. And, I'm glad it went to the way it went today. Hopefully this is a step forward. Mm-hmm. because last week wasn't a good week. You had his trial going on, then you had what's the guy's name?
Right, Deshaun Wright.
Deshaun Wright. You had Deshaun Wright. You had the lieutenant in Virginia. Got pepper sprayed while he was handcuffed. In Chicago, he was 13, Hispanic boy. So there's a lot of stuff
Adam
going
Toledo.
on. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that everybody that interact with the police is in the right. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
But what I am saying is that it's a lot of incidents that get publicized, and the way they don't look good for law enforcement. So my charge is to the people that work law enforcement, that the good ones. They said a few bad apples spoil the bunch. So the good ones keep doing what you're doing, making sure if your partner is out of line or your coworkers are doing something they ain't supposed to do, stand up and say something. Because it was four officers up there, and nobody didn't say nothing.
You know what? In the video, they played it in court. In the video, I can't remember if it was Officer King, and he kept saying, he said something along the lines of, should we turn him on his side? And this was while George Floyd was still alive. He was saying that, and they was telling him no, because he's still resisting. How is he resisting if he laying limp on the ground? How? And I mean, they kept talking about, the movement in his legs. Well, you know what? When you're trying to breathe, you're going to find some movement anywhere in your body to be able to breathe. I mean, I've been unable to breathe before. I've almost drowned several times. And you move any part of your body to be able to breathe.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. It's not that he was resisting. He was trying to breathe. Physically, he could not. And another statement they made in court was, well, if you breathing, then, or if you talking, you can breathe.
Not necessarily.
That ain't always the case. Just because I'm talking don't mean I'm breathing properly. It doesn't mean that I'm breathing efficiently enough. Obviously, he wasn't breathing efficiently enough because his heart stopped. So there was a line that was definitely crossed in this case, and I'm glad that the jury they didn't waste no time. When that evidence is that overwhelming and it's that obvious of what happened, if they kept saying, well, you hold them into a restraint until the resistance has stopped, and then you try to get them back up. He never tried to get him back up. He sat there comfortably too. I'm gonna just plant my body right here, and we're gonna wait till EMS get here.
What the heck? With your hand in your pocket, that means you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Here's my thing. It's four of them. It's four officers. Four of them. George Floyd, big man, okay. But if it's four of y'all, one of y'all got the man in a restraint or whatever the case is. You mean tell me 4 grown men can't contain one man?
And they could have.
He had his hands behind his back. They already had him one time to put him up in the truck. He said it was too claustrophobic back.
Which it was. It was very tight. If you look in the back of the car, and for a man his size, I'm small, and I would be like this in the back seat of that truck.
But my thing is, y'all maybe the training need to get better if that's what y'all trying to claim. But no, not in this case.
Y'all didn't implement the proper training.
And that man sitting up, he said that, what he said, 9 minutes?
9 minutes and 29 seconds, or 9 minutes and 27 seconds. Something along those lines.
With his knee on his neck. Sound right to y'all?
First of all, let me tell you something. Before Chauvin even arrived on the scene, the other 3 officers were already trying to get him in the truck. Y'all could have sat him amongst the building. They could have sat him if he felt like the truck was too small, he was too claustrophobic. First of all, he was already turned up because when they came up to him, they had a gun immediately over a $20 bill. This man died over $20. I don't know if anybody watching knows everything, but this man is dead because of $20. Just put that out there.
Counterfeit money.
Counterfeit. It was possibly counterfeit. They don't even know. It was assumed to be counterfeit. That $20 bill was never tested.
I'm just trying
to see if it was actually counterfeit. So that's my issue.
I'm trying to see if the justification for pulling up with the guns drawn. Unless they say
why were the guns even drawn?
Unless the store owner called and said that he was acting up, which he wasn't. If they did say that, I never heard that story.
They lied because they had him on camera in the store. They showed that in court. He was on camera in the store. He was the tallest thing in there.
And even still, even if he was yelling or whatever case it was, unless somebody was physically
he wasn't erratic or anything.
No reason for nobody to coming up with no guns.
No, you don't come. First of all, why is your gun drawn? If you trying to get somebody down, where's your taser? Miss, what's the name that done killed Mr. Wright? She thought she had her taser.
They're trying to figure out, like, the people been holding up the taser over here and
like
the gun over here.
There's a huge difference between the taser and the gun. First of all, a gun weighs way more than a taser. I'm gonna put that out there. A taser is also right behind construction yellow. I don't know how you can ever mix up your gun with your taser.
I don't know
how.
The way they're saying, oh, in the heat of the moment, blah blah blah. Like, but that's the type of job you can't make no mistake, because you make a mistake, you can't fix it, especially if you kill somebody.
You done took this man life, and the girlfriend was in the car with him.
When you shoot somebody, that's still bad. The person dead, but you kill somebody, you can't bring nobody back. You kill them,
they gone. And not only that, cops think about when they go out into the field, they want to return home safe to their families. Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? The people that y'all dealing with, they want to go home safe too, or go to jail safe. If you can arrest me, but don't kill me. Like, dang, I got some bond money somewhere. Somebody gonna come get me. Mm-hmm. But don't kill me. Why I gotta die? Why I gotta be a murder? Why can't it just be a simple arrest? Why couldn't you just simply tap on the door, sir? You wind down your window, please. We got a call from the store clerk about a counterfeit $20 bill. We just wanted to have a conversation with you.
Simple.
How different could this case have gone?
A lot different. It could have been like that with a lot of them.
Yeah.
But
when they hear it's black, they pull up. Probably said it's a black male, about 6'5".
You on high alert.
You on high alert because you automatically thinking, oh, he big and black.
And then, they're trying to say, oh, he was probably drugged up, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't care nothing about that. Like, if he did do whatever he did, that's
everybody got problems. Everybody has an addiction, whether it be drugs, alcohol, sex,
I don't care
whatever. Everybody has some sort of addiction.
What the man did outside of that, it don't warrant him. It don't warrant him to be killed.
No, he's a human. At the end of the day,
because if that's the case, we all got a vice, but do it want you to be killed? Whatever your stronghold is, do it want you to be killed if the police stop you?
Nope.
Don't want for anybody to kill you, period?
Nope.
You don't.
Especially when they're not threatening. All of these men that are being killed, and women, men and women, are unarmed. What can they do? What can they do but run?
Seems scary to me.
Like, for a long time, y'all, my husband rode around with his registration in his visor.
Still do.
Because he don't want to reach over into his glove compartment or in the middle compartment to grab it out just in case he gets pulled over. Thank God he doesn't get pulled over. But I even tremble when I get near a cop when I'm driving. And sometimes in a grocery store or at a convenience store or a gas station, I tremble. And I'm a pretty feisty little 5'2" person. Like, I'm not easily handled. So he got jokes.
I don't know. It was the thing.
I think you got jokes.
The thing was on the thing.
What thing?
The thing.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I'm not easily handled. So if I tremble, it's definitely for a reason. So I want to make it back home after having an encounter with a cop.
Yeah, and like I said before, it's a lot of good cops. But I know a lot of good cops, but it's just the bad ones. They make it hard. They make it hard to trust any of them, really.
There's something that the police chief broke down today, because I be all at my regular life just listening in on this trial, and he said that 10% of cops are bad. 15 to 17% knows that they're bad, but they're not gonna say nothing. And the other 70% are actually really good cops. So, in layman's terms, if you think about it, you got a what?
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10 chance that you're gonna actually get a good cop. But that other 3, you might end up getting, and you might end up being black, and you might end up dead for being black.
You just gotta be real careful.
Yeah.
If you do get stopped, I've been stopped a few times.
I thank God I've never been stopped.
Make sure you have your registration ready. Mm-hmm. Insurance, if they ask for your insurance.
And pull over. Don't try and outrun them. Don't give them a reason to pursue you. Pull over.
Your license, all that stuff. Make sure keep all the stuff together. And your license, of course, to stay in your wallet. But make sure you got all that stuff put together so if you do ever get stopped, it's already ready to go. Okay.
He said they don't understand that these police that kill these black people have family and children. I don't get why these people do that to black people. Cops are supposed to protect us, not kill us. That is absolutely correct.
Yep.
And when I was a little girl, I used to always admire cops because my mom, one of her best friends, he was a sheriff with Manatee County, and I loved him. I was like, ooh, when I get older, I'm gonna marry a cop, because he was just such a good guy. And he was always, he was a school resource officer, and then he got, promoted, but he was, I'm not gonna say his name, but he was a really good guy. He still is a really good guy. And I know a lot of really good cops. I don't really have a lot of cops in my family, but I know, personally, a lot of cops. And I will give most of them the benefit of the doubt, black or white. I will give most of them the benefit of the doubt, but you got a few nasties. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, I've seen some nasties, and those nasties definitely make it hard for the other ones, because other cops that may not be, nasty or rude, they don't get much love from people because of the stigma that's on, police officers.
Yep. Automatically, they see
just like they feel about black people. That's how people feel about the police.
Automatically see the blue, they're like, okay. And you would think having a uniform will make it different with stuff. But I'm gonna tell you this might kind of shock you. Having a uniform, it ain't just, black folks looking at black folks or Latinos or whoever looking at cops a certain type of way. Depending on what your job is, like where I work, I wear a uniform. And sometimes the majority group, older white men, they tend to not be able to accept the fact that a young African American man is giving them instructions on stuff, and they tend to react to that in a certain way. Now they'll probably react to that. They probably react to anybody in a uniform, some kind of authority, feel like they don't like it. But I've noticed this is when the last month or so, I've had a few encounters with people, and they can't stand it. They can't stand it. Can't stand that a young black man is, got this uniform on, telling them they got to do this and this and that, and they don't like it.
Nope,
And
they don't want you giving them direction either.
My thing is, if you so gung ho about people respecting cops and stuff, you think somebody in a uniform. Not to say that you can abuse your authority or you should abuse your authority.
No, they don't care at all. Facebook were responding to YouTube comments.
Not to say that you should abuse your authority, but if someone's like giving you instructions on doing something, as people always say, why don't you just comply? Now I ain't in a position to arrest nobody or do nothing while I work or nothing like that. But if I'm telling you to do this and that, why should you argue with it? Just do it. But like I said, they don't like that. They don't like a young black man giving them instructions, telling them what to do. Mm-hmm. They can't stand it. You know why? Because they ain't got no way. Like, there ain't nothing they can do about it. They just got to go along with it. And they try to have us give the same respect to them. But sometimes, I'm just straight up with you. Sometimes I don't feel like some of them deserve the respect.
No, because they act like animals.
Because they
call us animals. They act like animals. They
don't respect people that they supposed to be protecting and serving. So you got them cops rolling around like that. Why should I respect you? You got the man up in South Carolina. He wasn't a cop. He was in the military, or still is. Or it might not be for long. But the young black man, he was walking around his own neighborhood, trying to just mind his business. And you got this man come up, start bothering him, and his wife start bothering him.
And put hands on him.
I'm glad he probably wanted to hit him, but I'm glad he didn't, because then he would have probably been in jail too. But they put the man in jail. And then they had his family taken away from the neighborhood or whatever the case is, trying to protect them. But they was the ones that started the whole little argument.
They came up to him first and then started recording it. Like, what is it supposed to be?
He walking down the street minding his business. Like he said, he live in the neighborhood. Why you worried about what he doing? If he ain't no threat to your house, why you worried about it?
It's kind of like, thank you for recording your own issue so you can get arrested, because the wife was recording, or whoever it was recording.
Somebody was recording him. I think one of the boys' friends was recording him, and then the man's wife was recording the whole situation. So they pretty much did it to themselves.
Oh, Larry said they're talking about 12 and a half years, but we shall see. Yeah, we definitely shall see.
We'll see.
And also what's going to happen to the other cops that was with him that didn't push him off of George Floyd.
Yep.
Because what's going to happen with that?
And he didn't take a stand. So for him not to take a stand,
he knew he was guilty.
He knew there wasn't no way he could talk his way out of that.
No.
He really just didn't have no remorse. But what was going on?
Well, did you see his face? Mm-hmm. Like, he was dazed out, you guys. Like, when his lawyer was talking to him, and he was so spaced out, and his lawyer, I don't know, maybe he shouted his name a little bit louder. He was like, oh, you were talking to me? Like, he wasn't even there half the trial.
When they said guilty, you probably just
mentally, he was not
this
there.
Ain't supposed to happen to me, But hey.
Well, let me tell you something. When your wife divorce you, take half your pension and your children, something ain't right. And nobody can find her.
No.
We don't know where she at. So
yeah, we did hear about the 13 in Chicago. I think his name was Adam
Toledo.
That
video made me cry. That video was very graphic. And watching George Floyd and hearing, because we never heard the all the audio from the 17-year-old's video that she posted to social media. So when you hear that in court, oh my gosh, it's traumatizing. Like, I hear it all the time in my head, because he said I can't breathe like 27 times.
Yep, and calling out for the mama.
Yeah. I hear it in my head all the time. It's something that I just can't shake. Oh man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like, and I can only imagine how his family feels, that They had to rewatch his death over and over and over and over in court, on CNN, HLN, Fox News. I don't know if Fox News really talk about, you know how Fox is.
No, they don't care.
Y'all know how that go. But yeah, that was really, really that was torture to listen to that. And I don't know how them cops can listen to that and not want to stop. Like, if I was there, I would be just like those bystanders were. Like, can y'all move? Can you get off of him?
Mm-hmm.
Like, man, and then they show another view where you see him literally like moving his mouth and his neck, trying to get some type of air. It's sad. It's really sad. And I think about all the black men in my life. Like, I love the black men in my life. My husband, my other family members. I can't imagine having to sit there and watch that. And that's one of my own too. I can't watch it, and I don't even know George Floyd or any of his family members, but I empathize with them. So I don't know, y'all. We got to keep praying, and keep pressing for justice.
Yep, stay prayed up. Like I said, make sure you stay safe whenever you are out traveling out and about or whatever the case is. Try to avoid confrontation at all costs. If it do come to your doorstep, do come to you, try to make sure, hey, this day and age, phone is your best friend. Make sure you got the video out.
Keep your phone charged.
Keep your hands visible. Don't make no sudden movements. And it's sad you got to keep reiterating all this too every day. I worry about my friends, my dad, my siblings, cousins and whatnot. The young dudes that I try to mentor and that look up to me, I try to make sure when they out and about doing their thing, y'all just be careful, man. And if anybody get in a situation, anybody that I deal with, whoever it is, I don't care. Just if you feel like you need somebody to talk to or somebody to help you out with something, just call me. Call if you can't call me, call someone. Call someone. Get on FaceTime with somebody. Get somebody on the line. Just so it's somebody that's visible or that know what's going on.
Yep.
That's the best. That's some of the best advice I can try to give you. At that. Don't live no shelter life. Live your life. So yeah, that's I can't even say nothing.
It's all right, babe.
It's so
Everybody's
frustrating
speechless right now.
But
everybody's
that's what we wanted to do.
Thinking of the words to say.
Wanted to come on here and just give our views on the trial and everything.
I'm really happy. I'm so happy.
Happy for the family. Happy for the justice in general. Yeah, man, just
I'm happy for those bystanders. I'm gonna be honest, because there was somebody that was with him, but they ain't testify. They pled the fifth because I guess they didn't want to incriminate themselves off of some other stuff. But I haven't really seen that person on camera with the family or anything, so I don't know what that person was to him. But I feel that the bystanders, I'm glad, because they had to relive that trauma too, coming to court to testify and give their side of the story, and all of their stories line up. Everybody saying the same thing. Come on now. The evidence was so overwhelming. Yep. And the fact that the prosecution took like a week to lay out their case, and the defense took a day and a half to lay out their case, it was obvious. And then I got to give it to Derek Chauvin's lawyer, because he tried for a mistrial after Congressman Waters was like, if they don't give the verdict that they know they're supposed to give, people need to continue to be active. She said something.
Keep going or something.
And she said what she said. and he trying to get a appeal.
I give him that.
He tried.
I give him that. The whole trial, he tried. He really tried. Like
He tried.
Boy.
He had a really good lawyer, but with evidence that overwhelming and the fact that you have a video, you ain't just giving them an overview of what happened. They're actually watching it. And with your own two eyes, all of America is the jury for that. So, and you can see.
Thank God for the cameras and for the people that stood up and testified. Had it not been for that,
he might have got off.
He probably would have got. He would.
Yeah.
If it wasn't recorded.
Yeah.
And they just went on body cam, all that stuff. I'm
thankful that girl and her friend went to the store that day.
Yep. He wouldn't have got.
I'm thankful.
So. Yeah. But that's all we want to talk about tonight.
Yeah. I look like I've been crying, y'all. Don't talk about me too bad. It's been a long day. It's been a good day, but yeah.
Just want to come in here and talk to y'all for a little bit, but it's getting ain't even late, but
it's late for him. But
yeah, but you know,
it's getting late. It's almost 9.
Hope everybody has a good night. And we will see y'all later.
See ya.
What is 6 views?
Mm-hmm.